Hey, have you ever thought about walking a tightrope?
Walking a tightrope?
Yeah, like how fun it would be, or if you could,
Fun?
if you could keep your balance.
No, I have never wanted to walk a tightrope. I mean, you know what I think about? Is if I mess around and slip up, it won't be pretty.
That wouldn't be pretty.
It will not be pretty. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Otis.
And this is Brante.
And welcome to Robinson House TV. This channel, we talk about God, family, and everyday life, basically. So if that's something that's interesting to you and that will be beneficial to you, consider subscribing to our channel as we continue to produce content that will support talking about God, family, and life in general. So today we want to talk about balance. As you can see, we're thinking about being able to balance things. We certainly get busy in life, I think, and it's kind of difficult to make sure that we have everything in check. And if that's you, and if you've ever had any challenges with balancing life, meaning your life, your work life, your spiritual life, and everything you do, if you've ever had that kind of issue, shoot us a comment so we'll know that we're not in this alone, that we've had, because we've had that challenge, and we have to step back and kind of reconsider what we're doing so we can make sure we stay in balance. But if that's you, shoot us a comment, let us know, hey, I've been there and here's what I do. Give us some tidbits on what you do.
So in life, if you're married, when you first start out, it's just you and your spouse and you're good. You know, you can come and go as you please. You can do what you want to do pretty much. But then when the kids come, then their balance comes. Because you got to balance time with them. You got to balance time with your spouse. You got to balance time with the family. They want to see the kids. It's just balance all throughout that.
When you've got family and everybody wants to see the kids and you want to be with family and you want to be everywhere and you want to do everything, it is so challenging. And so I know that we're not alone in this, that you've had to experience it as well. And so, we have a few things that we have learned to do over the years that hopefully will help you. Certainly not a end-all list or an all-inclusive list, but certainly something that we would think that would be beneficial to someone that doesn't have anything in place right now to help them with balance. So number one, the thing that we have learned to do is to schedule things.
Right.
To make sure that we're putting things on a schedule of some sort. If you have an iPhone, which you probably should have one, if you can do that, the best thing for you to do is have an iPhone.
We're Apple users.
We are Apple users. People like Android, they work, I guess. But for whatever phone device you have, you should have a calendar on it. If it is a smartphone, you should be able to pull up your calendar and pencil in stuff that you're going to do so that if something else comes up, it won't hinder what you have planned. Yeah,
and not only will that, that'll help you plan out things, but it'll also help you to see how much you're really doing in a day, and it'll help you to better manage your time. I know for me, also number two is I would write out a plan. So like the night before, I would write out a plan of the things that I plan to do the next day. And so that helps me as well to stay in balance. You even plan, okay, from 6 to 8 we're gonna have family time. You have to plan those things and put them in there, and then be intentional about sticking to your calendar, because you need to have balance and everything. If you don't have balance, then you're gonna get tired, you're gonna burn out, or somebody is gonna feel left out. Something is gonna be left undone. So it's important for you to stick to the things that you plan.
Stick to it. So if number two is planning, the statement was said that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
That's it.
I can't remember exactly who said it right off the top of my head right now, but it is a true statement. If you're not planning things out, then you are planning to literally fail. And nobody wants to fail. But when we put something in place, when we strategize, when we plan, it allows us to be prepared for what could come up. please understand that you can't plan everything out. You can't be prepared for everything, but the more effort you put into planning things out, the better off you're going to be when it comes to having balance in your life.
Yeah.
The third thing that we kind of think about as well is communication, especially in the household. When you're talking about a husband and wife and a family, and you've got, you know, the husband is working and the wife is working, and the kids have school, and the kids also may have activities like sports or dance or whatever it may be that you have, that's a lot of stuff going on in one period of time. A week is going to be terrible. It's going to be so much that you're going to have to get done, that if you don't communicate, if people aren't staying up with calendars. For example, you know, there have been times where I might forget to tell Brante something that's going on that I want for us to do. And the day will come and I'm like, you ready to go? And she's like, what are you talking about? I said, well, you know, we're supposed to. And she's like, I don't know anything about this.
Right.
And so now you got an argument. Now we're mad at each other because someone didn't communicate. And that happens all the time. If you're not careful to communicate with each other, then things will begin to become very hectic for you very quickly.
Yeah, and you also have to not be afraid to say no. I know early on in our marriage, we was running ourselves raggedy trying to be everywhere for everybody.
Struggled.
To please everybody.
Yes.
I remember when we first got married, during the holidays, we would go from house to house. And so his family they live out of town, near Albany. And so we would go an hour and a half away from home on Christmas after spending time with my family here. Then we would drive there.
Yeah.
And then not only would we drive there and stay there for a while, we would also come back, all that in one day. And so the holidays began to be just like, oh, I hate to see Christmas come.
Christmas was work, and that's the day we should be celebrating Jesus Christ. And it was stressful for us. And the holidays are often stressful for people, but we learned how to say no to some stuff. There are some places that we just had to say, okay, we've got a schedule, we've got a plan, we've got to communicate about this, and we've got to say no. And so what we did, we started dividing up how we did the holidays. We would spend one holiday with my parents and my family. We would spend another holiday with my wife's parents and family, and so that we would have time to even spend time with ourselves. Our kids' gifts would be here at the house.
Yeah.
And so they have all their stuff home, but they wouldn't have time to enjoy their gifts on Christmas Day because we were going so many different places. And so we wanted to encourage you with this, is that, you know, balance is very difficult to find when it comes to life, but if you put a schedule on scene and create a plan and communicate and learn to say no, you can find yourself in a position where you won't be too stressed out. There's always going to be something that comes up, but you can work around a lot of things by incorporating some of these critical keys.
So we just want to give y'all a few tips. Maybe that'll help you out. Make sure you communicate. I'm telling you, when we had to do the planning with our family for the holidays, we had to communicate that. And sometimes people are not going to like, you know, your choices, but you have to be okay with that and do what's best for you and your family.
Yeah.
And so thank God our family was okay. They understood.
Yeah.
But sometimes you will have those situations where people won't understand your no, but just be okay with that and make sure that you are not running yourself raggedy trying to please everybody else.
That's right. Cool. Tightrope. I look like walking on a tightrope. I can't even walk on the floor real good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you again next week, where we put out videos every Friday. Looking forward to talking to you again soon.